Be honest with me, bro. Am I the crazy one to think that getting married at a young age is not normal at all? Because most of my friends are married at 19 or 20 years old, man. Like you haven't heard me wrong. They married at their own will, at the one that they prefer to marry, not arranged or anything, right? And I want to share you a story about this situation that I've been thinking about lately. 2 years ago, when I was attending university, bro, I saw a girl, right? She was talking to other girls, and she was just laughing and giggling, and she seems really energetic and talkative. So I tried to speak to like talk to her, right? And we did end up having a really good conversation with one of the other mates with me, right? And we formed a relationship, a friendship of three people, right? And we would go out every night, and it's just that whenever I'm around her, like this is not a feeling stuff, but I can tell that she's really relaxed and carefree. Like that's the best that I can describe, right? She's always the one that leads the group, that are having the best time of her life, and I would never one day in my life expecting her to settle down and be with a man, right? And 1 year later, when I was studying abroad, right? I saw her post, and she was with a man, and then we ended up having a group conversation, right? We ended up when we were hanging with each other, we formed a group of three people because they were missing me, because I was going to study abroad, so they were creating a group to talk to me every day, and I'm really grateful for that. But this is on another problem, not this time. So we ended up talking to the group chat, and then at some point in the conversation, I brought up like, who was that man in your story? And in that story, the man was standing in a bar, right? And after this, I know that he was a DJ, right? And he hosts parties at like clubs and bars, and all sorts of stuff like that. And she gave me that answer, and I was pretty, at first I was like, yeah, cool, right? You got a boyfriend, like, yeah, that's cool, right? Like, no, this is like not what you think, bro. It's on a different problem, like, and we still keep hanging out, and I remember around like a few months ago, right? I went back to my country, and we were hanging out as usual. I met my two friends after a really long period of breaking apart, right? We finally united, and we're having some of the greatest night of our life. I would say that, bro. I would say that with 100% confidence, right? It was so nice to see them again. And it was normal, right? It was normal. But at another point in that conversation, when I was waiting for my friends, the male friends, to changing his clothes and preparing for the party, the hangout, or something like that, right? I spoke to my homegirl, right? The girl that I'm talking about right now. And she just say this one thing that was shocked me so badly at that point. She got a baby. Like, when I heard that sentence, bro, I was actually frozen, bro, because in never in a day in my life I would expect that she would have a baby this soon, right? And I already know who's the dad was, right? And I asked her about it, and she was talking about her baby, about all sort of things like that. And I don't know if it was a they wanted to have a baby, or it's just a mistake. I don't know about that. But the thing that I was really, really, really sure about is when I asked her more about it, she said she was going to marry him like just a few weeks later, right? And bro, like at that point, she was 19 years old, bro. Like it's just pretty crazy to me, man, because you know I was skeptical, like, to be honest, bro. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I was really skeptical. Like in a part of me, a part inside of me are really happy for them, right? I see their wedding photos. I see them having beautiful kid, like only one, but yeah, I'm really happy for them. But another part in me, the part that leads to logical and deep thinking decision, like it just screamed to me that will this marriage last? Because I know that she met him in a bar, and it's only been like less than a year, like not even like 9 or 10 months, bro. And they already get married, and I'm just wondering that did they have enough time to find out who each other was, what the other man values and what my friends values, like their belief, their ideology, and do they vibes? Like that's the simplest way I can explain this, right? Do they have the same frequency? And because I have a really concrete example that make me truly believe that the reason, like one of the things that can help a relationship to become a really long and stable marriage is you need time and experience, right? My friend, before this, she only have one boyfriend, and not much experience. Like, and the other guy, I don't know, but I can look at my parents, bro. They have one of the best marriages, like for like 20 or 30 years. I don't know, like, but and when I asked them about it, each of my friend, like, sorry, my dad and my mom say that they all have lost of partners before. Like, this is really crazy, bro, because I always heard on the internet that if you're having so much too many partners in the past, and then the next one, if you want to get married and settle down, it will be way harder. But for some reason, bro, like my family is still really happy and really satisfied with what they are being right now. And this begging me the question that do you actually like need experience in order to having a really fulfilled marriages? Like that's what I've been thinking, right? Like sometimes I think that like pure love, pure attractiveness, like none like attraction, is it enough to make a stable marriages? And I just think that there is more than just pure love and attraction. You need to have, the same belief, the same ideology, the same way of thinking and dealing with problems, how you communicate with each other. And, the biggest thing in all of this is sacrifice, right? When you're married and having kids, it's your responsibility to take care of them, right? To build something bigger than yourself, than your pleasure, than feeling fun with the guys and the girls, right? At the bars each weekend, right? And there's a lot of things that a young person nowadays, like even me, bro, like so I couldn't even understand the fullest of this problem. But one thing for sure is that you need time, you need experience, and you need to vet the other person really, really thoroughly. Because there are a couple that they thought that they know each other so much, and then they married, and then one day, bro, they are divorced and they leave their kids behind. They're suffering in loneliness and pain, and they lost half of the money to each other. And I feel so bad for the kids in those families, bro. And it's just begging me the question, bro, like just even like is marriages even worth it if you're not like truly wanted to sacrifice your life, bro? Because like by all means, bro, marriages is just a way to bond the two together, right? It's just like a really big ropes that tie each other's hearts into each other. Like that's all. It's just a responsibility chain, right? to not break apart, to not go and find others partners and having fun with them, right? You're building something totally different, and it seems a really different mindset comparing to when you are, your teenage years, your early 20s or something like that. And my parents, they are really careful on this, right? My dad waited for like no, it's not, like, I'm not mean to make the joke, but it actually 6 or 7 years. And they waited so long until they get married, bro. And I think that they make the right decision, because most of people today, bro, they marry so young and they break up and they divorce so early, bro. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And my parents, I think they make the best decision that they could make. And I think that I need to learn from them, right? And the interesting part is that, bro, like, I think that yesterday, bro, I saw that friend of mine that got married post another friend of her that was getting married too. And bro, like, and she was really young, but like, this is really crazy to me. But I guess it's pretty normal for most of you guys. I don't know. I'm not assuming, but I guess that it's just a trend nowadays, right? Bro, I don't feel like I wanted to talk about this topic, bro. Like, but it's been in my head for way too long, and I gotta get all of this, bro, out of my fucking head, bro. And whew, where was I? Yeah, like, most of the friends nowadays, my friends nowadays are married at such a young age, bro. And I don't even feel like I'm missing out on anything, bro. Like, when you actually knows about the thing that you have been thinking so much about, it makes you feel peaceful, bro. Like, you have to be on your own pace, bro. Just don't look at other people that they lose their V card in a very early age, and you feel pressure to do the same. Like, don't feel like that. Just do what you want. Just follow your own pace, and you'll be good, bro. Don't be desperate for anything. Like, that's the biggest thing that I've realized. And fuck, like, I just wish my friend the best, the happiest marriage, bro. Like, I'm not even hating on sending them any message that are negative, bro. I really wish the best for them. They are some of the best friends. I've even met her husband, right? They're pretty cool. They're really chill, and we're having a few movie nights together, and everything is good. But I just hope that they realize that they wanted to marry not just because they feel the attraction. They feel like they're in a fairy tale where they'll be together until they are old and on the wheelchair together. Like, that fairy tale is gonna break. It's gonna disappoint the both of them. I just hope that they would understand what sacrifice is, and they will do that. Because they already have a kid now, and that's I'm just worrying. I'm like, be honest, bro. I'm just worrying about the kids, bro. And I hope them the best. And just like, my goal is always to find love, and I admire them, right? Not really, like, bro. What am I saying, bro? Like, not really, bro. Like, but my goal is always to build a family that I can look and be smiling every day, looking at my kids, bro. Like, they're running, they do things that are healthy and good for their lives, and like, it's our goal. It's just how humans are, right? The end goal is just to having relationships that fulfill your life, and I believe that my kids will be great people that could make our lives a lot better. And yeah, that's all I want to share today, man. And if you're watching till now, we'll meet each other again very soon. Maybe I've been inconsistent in uploading, but I kind of want to do what I want in the time that I want, bro. And yeah, I'm just I don't know, bro. Life goes on, and so as I. And yeah, thank you so much for staying until now. You have a really good attention span.